Hi, it's Martin from RCIRCLE. How are you doing? I'm doing part of our series of interviews with business owners who have either done something different throughout coronavirus or are about to embark on something different. And I'm really pleased to meet Michelle here from Work Pirates. Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself?
So hi, thank you ever so much for having me on. My name is Michelle Minikin. I am a chartered psychologist and I work in the fields of organisational development, business work stuff. What more do you need to know at this particular moment in time, Martin?
I don't know. People who watch this will either stand around. I'm not actually sure yet. I guess for me, it's about, you started your business Work Pirates now, didn't you? You've done that this year. You've done it in the midst of coronavirus.
Yeah.
I guess some people will think you're a bit bonkers. Or did you think there was an opportunity to sort of, you're at home, you can do something different? So maybe tell us about that.
So I've been working for myself for 4 years since I got sacked/left. Still don't know. And it was, I came up with the name of Insights Business Psychology, working a lot with councils and NHS trusts and construction companies on their selection and assessment. So lots of psychometric testing, and it's all stuff that I can do and I can do well, but it's become quite apparent to me over the last sort of year or so that it's just a bit dull. And there's so many other people doing everything the same as me, and it didn't really light my fire anymore. So we've kind of had this sort of feeling a bit of a fallen out of love with the business, and it's making some money as well. So, there's a need to make it more fun, more exciting. And just before lockdown, I got an amazing piece of work to do a leadership development program with a recycling company. And I got a couple of my friends, independent practitioners, to help me deliver that. And I was like, gosh, this is so much more fun than doing stuff on my own. So my partner, who we have another company, Inspiration North, which is all about helping people find happiness and better lives, etc. We kind of, I was frustrating the living daylights out of him with my absolute uninterest in the business development side of Insights, and I had lots of clients that just came to me for stuff, and it's a bit transactional on occasion. Michelle, can you do 20 psychometric tests? Yes, I can. When do you need it for? Next Tuesday. Like, but I got it done. So 2 years ago, I read a book called Be More Pirate, and you'd think I'd planned this, but it's
it's a copy I happen to have on my thing. Did you get any sort of connection about being more pirate? Or was it?
Yeah. And I love the concept. It's all about creating good trouble, and I was always that person in an organisation, and my partner was as well. And we always just ask why we're doing it this way, and almost fixing things without getting permission to fix things, and writing pointing a light on things that people didn't want us to point a light on. So we either did really well in organisations, the pair of us, or didn't do well at all because of it.
I was saying about people being Marmite, you're either all in or all not, and it's so difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and so it's been something just the last 2 years. We've met the author Sam and Alex, his co-pirate, and it's something that's just not worked. And during COVID, we saw a lot of bad stuff happen to company, people in organisation, and we've seen a lot of our sort of friends in the industry not doing particularly well and not really knowing what to do. So we literally came up with the name by having GoDaddy, Company's House, the IPO trademark thing up and running, and it was like people crew and blah blah blah. And then within sort of 10 minutes of actually thinking about what it should be, Work Pirates, I was like that'll have been taken. GoDaddy.com was everything was available. So it's almost like it was waiting for us. So I have managed to recruit, there's 20 pirates, which is getting borderline ridiculous. So independent practitioners, business psychologists, coaches, well-being experts, disability experts, inclusion, lots of different people from, you know, that can help people. So sort of people professionals. We got a logo developed, and I said to the branding people, I don't want skull and crossbones, I don't want weapons. And they came up, I don't know whether you can see it behind me, but the sculb, so it's half a skull and half a bulb. She's like, I totally ignored your brief, I think this is going to be best. So she's a proper pirate, and we've come up with a bit of a tagline. So it's like the A-Team, but for organisations. So we go in and help people.
Do you have a van?
We haven't got a van yet, but we have to get one, don't we?
Got a van and get you there. No, okay. How have you found that getting people? Were they on board quickly? Was that because of the relationship that you had with them, maybe, that they just thought, oh, brilliant, finally somebody's doing this and pulling us together? Because it's a bit like herding cats. Yeah,
it's brilliant. So, you know, there's different levels of sort of engagement within it, but it's all very new and it's quite exciting, and it's really lonely working on your own.
Yeah, completely.
So having a really cool gang of people that are sort of weirdos and mischief and misfits and, you know, fun is good. So we've put a bit of a proposal in for a redundancy support package offering you know, counselling. It is, you know, it's a scary time for most people at the moment, and we won some of the things we put in, so that's quite nice. So we have done a little bit of work so far.
Can I ask how that, maybe a stupid question, how that fits? Because given your piratiness is about having fun, and yet actually the first piece of work you're bidding for is about not having fun, isn't it? It's about, you know,
to make it as nice. It's all about creating happiness at work.
Yeah.
And businesses have to be able to survive during this time. And for the HR people, and I've been made redundant a couple of times and at risk of redundance a number of times, and you know, it's not a day that goes by at the moment I'm not hearing about people losing their jobs. It's awful for those guys, but it's also harrowing for the people that have to do the work. So it's all about making sure that they're okay as well, and the people that are left behind are okay, because quite often they have to pick up a lot more slack. So it's all about doing things right. Not necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily always going to be flippant and hilarious and fun, but so for example, I get asked to do psychometric tests all the time, and that's fine, pays the bills. But you know, why? It's almost like, why are you doing psychometric tests? Because it's the way you've always done it. Or the job, you know, do you know what you're actually looking for? Are the job descriptions right? Is all of the, you know, all the branding, all of that stuff, is that, are you selecting the people in, you know, it's just a little,
it's more than the actual transaction is often the case, isn't it? That people focus on, oh, I must have this thing done, rather than thinking of the whole end-to-end process.
So it's all about fixing the problem and teaching organizations to do it themselves, rather than just putting band-aids on stuff. Does that make sense?
It does, it all makes sense. Did you again, I guess it's about timing, isn't it? Did coronavirus help with that? I'm thinking, again, you've got people that are out there who probably working independently, who suddenly found themselves sitting at home independently, to be really blunt, taken from one who's sat on his own many a time, gone, and mostly sometimes through choice. To be honest, I'm a horrible hermit and hate people, which is ironic when I do recruitment. But I do actually find it easy. It means it's actually a leveler, because I don't have any like for anybody. So it's not like I warm to a particular candidate or a particular thing. I treat everybody with the same sort of level of disdain, which is just, that doesn't work. It seems to work, perhaps sometimes. But was the timing, I guess, work better for you because suddenly, you know, you've got 20 pirates on board. You know, you might have, this time last year, you might have struggled to get the same 20 because they were too busy, either being busy themselves and sustaining that. So I guess, what's the question I'm trying to ask? What is it they've seen in this coming together that they hadn't done it before? Maybe is it now as the time? Is it you as the influence, or is it the fact that actually now you've created a thing? You know, work pirates. I don't know what it is, but already I can picture something. I do picture a boat, and there's a crew, and I probably don't know what the crew do, but it doesn't really matter because I've got a crew. So
yeah, I think it's a really uncertain time for a lot of people. I think it's just that this possibly should have happened maybe a year ago. And organizations, a lot of them are pretty broken.
Yeah.
And just doing things because that's the way they've always done them, and not particularly treating people as human capital or numbers and not actual humans. And it's almost, and you sort of sit around and think, you know, there's a grown-up's going to come and sort this out somewhere, you know. And you look at all of the sort of political leadership that we're being sort of exposed to at the moment, and just thinking there aren't any grown-ups, there aren't any superhumans that are going to come and save us. So it's almost a case of we need to go and save ourselves and teach people how to save themselves. And the way things we've always done don't work. So it's almost a cry to action. And, you know, how can we create some good trouble?
So on the basis of what I've just said, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. And I really want to thank you, Michelle, for joining us. What we will do is we'll come back again in a few months, because then we'll get another update on where you are, because it's at that moment of time. You've created this thing, and it feels like that now is the time it's going to go out there in the big bad world. So thank you for everybody who's going to watch. We'll also include a link to Michelle's website, so you can find out more about the pirates when we post this and do some other things. And for now, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Quality, and sometimes it's really rubbish, so